What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Hop Butcher for the World, and they're out of Chicago, Illinois, and this is their Cool Bay. So they're calling this one a Nelson Sauvin and Southern Cross Hopped IPA. Comes in at 6.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just under 3 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks, shout out once again to Hop Butcher for this beer. I will post in the description box a link to the beer mail video I did that contains all the goodies they hooked me up with. I'm really excited about this one because it's just two hops, Nelson and Southern Cross. And Southern Cross is a hop that I see occasionally, but not that often. And I feel like this is going to be a fun pairing with Nelson. And I'm really excited about it. And I love the artwork. I'm going to try to hide the tasting notes here in the back, but the artwork, absolutely fantastic. Love it. So anyway, I think this is going to be a hazy. Last one was kind of a clear beer. So I'm hoping for a little bit more haze out of this one to mix it up a little bit. But yeah, anyway, let's give it a pour here. Yeah, that's haze for sure. So I'm expecting probably white grapes and passion fruit and maybe a little bit of that gooseberry and white wine thing from the Nelson, but from Southern Cross, I don't know. I guess we'll find out together. So let's put this beer over here like that. Again, I really like the artwork. And yeah, so that has that beautiful haze you expect from Hop Butcher. This is a little bit darker, more of like a somewhat dark orange color, very murky and turbid, like I said, about a finger of a off-white, super creamy looking head. It looks beautiful in the glass. Let's get a nose. Yeah. It's fun to drink Hop Butcher beers fresh. You know, a lot of times, at least to me, they're relatively fresh, or even sometimes super fresh, but they'll send a bunch of them, and, you know, I can't review them, you know, every single day. So sometimes I drink them 6 weeks old or a couple months old, and they're still delicious, some of them. But you can tell the difference between like a fresh Hop Butcher beer and one that's been around for a couple months. And this is prime example, just under 3 weeks old. This is vibrant. Oh man, there's a ton of, just a ton, like that white grape isn't that big, but I'm getting like big pineapple, passion fruit, mango, sweet, fleshy, just juicy kind of fruits. A little bit of a zesty citrus, like a zesty orange, maybe even like a lemon lime kind of kick, more to the lime side. There's a decent like slight dank piney thing going on, more to the dank side. Very green and herbaceous too. Yeah, it smells kind of like fruit juice, but not overly done, not overly sweet. Has a nice ripened type of kind of fruit quality to it, and it smells really good. So let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, and thanks again to Hop Butcher. Very, very nice. First things I can say is that this has a little bit of hop burn, a little bit of that green astringency because it's quite fresh. I think it's not big, it's not like overblown, but I think this can could use another week or two, honestly, to settle down a little bit. Body at 6.5%, it's like straight up medium body, so it's appropriate. The mouthfeel, it's soft, it's smooth, it's creamy. Maybe a little bit more carbonation, approaching like a moderately carbonated beer than I'm accustomed to from a lot of their, you know, hazies and whatnot. The taste, we're up from, I'm getting pineapple, passion fruit, mango, juicy, but also not overly dumb. There's a nice zesty orange kind of quality, zest, like a lime zest too. All hits at the front. As it passes through though, the beer turns into this, again, that hop burn is there, not over the top, but it's definitely there. It's like a green vegetable matter, about halfway to maybe 3/4 of the way through the palate. It has an herbaceous quality to it, a little bit of pine resin, and then it finishes semi full-on dry with a mild bitterness. The dryness on this one is definitely stopping it from being too sweet and balancing it out quite a bit. Not a lot of bitterness here, but that dryness is definitely high. I think in about 1 week, maybe 2 weeks tops, this is going to be really good and probably better than it is right now. Again, it's not that it's overly green and the hop burn's like immense or anything, but that's going to settle down. And I think probably around the 4.5, 5 week mark, you're going to see something that turns into a cohesive monster of a beer at 6.5%. The alcohol, you can't really taste it. I think that hop burn is kind of getting in the way of even tasting any astringency, but it is 6.5%. You really can't taste it nowadays with a lot of hazies that are like sub 7%. Really nice and enjoyable. I would say that this would be better, obviously, with that hop burn just gone. And I think I do want a little bit more juicy, kind of sweeter character at the front. I feel like that juicy pineapple, mango, passion fruit at the front, it's nice, but I don't think it has a substantial sweetness that I'm kind of looking for at the front of the palate, and then, you know, balance it out with the dryness on the back. I think this might be a little bit too dry for me to love this beer. But I really like it, and again, I'm glad I have another can, because I might actually drink that one in a couple weeks. I think at the, again, about the 5-week mark, I think this is going to be great. So really solid beer, really nice low ABV kind of crusher. I just wish the hop burn was a little bit toned down and it was a little bit more juicy and sweet. But outside of that, Cool Bay from Hop Butcher, I have no problems, and we're going to do tasting notes in a second. But I have no problems giving this one we'll go straight 4 out of 5. I think that's fair for what I'm drinking here. It's really good, and I know that this is probably going to creep into the low 4.25, maybe even the 4.25 range in a couple weeks. So really nice stuff. Tasting notes, zesty citrus, yes. Like I said, zesty orange, kind of a lime zest, 100%. Can't really, so it's going to be tough to read, but they have, like, you know, the boats and the actual font is going into it. It's really tough to read. Pleasant pine. So I did say it has like a resinous pine. Is it pleasant? Sure. But I wouldn't necessarily say pleasant pine. I would say like resinous pine, or a pine resin or something. And last, bright tropical. That's where I think the pineapple, the passion fruit, the mango, and everything. So I think they're 3 for 3 on the tasting notes, although that pleasant pine I think would be more of a like resinous pine or pine resin kind of feel for me. Price and availability on this one, I think in the Chicago area, anywhere from $14 to $16, I think, for their IPAs that are, you know, around 6.5%. And then availability, it's Hop Butcher. You can find them if you really want to. We get drops here in the West New York area, typically like once every 6 weeks or so. But yeah, you can find their stuff. I mean, it's not super easy to find, but if you really want to grab some of their stuff, you can make it happen with relative ease, you know, trading with somebody in the Chicago area or somebody who gets distro of their stuff. And again, their stuff isn't like, you know, it's not a super hyped over, you know, like it's not brewery only, and you got to wait in line, all this stuff. You can find their stuff if you want to. So yeah, thanks again to Hop Butcher for this beer. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. If you've had this beer, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it, because I think it's pretty good, but a couple weeks, I think it's gonna be great. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by. Till the next one. Cheers.